Hey guys, welcome back to another week of the Jobsticker's Jobseeker Resource Show. I appreciate your time. Today I was supposed to go on LinkedIn Live and had some issues with StreamYard. So I'm going to try to hash those out this week and just so I can knock this particular session out. So I apologize for any delays. And again, as usual, though, this will be on YouTube after the show. So today I want to talk about the future of work, 2021 global hiring outlook. So I read an article today and it was really, really well done. It was through Monster and they had put together about just exactly what to expect this year and moving forward and from a global standpoint of how hiring managers are going to be working and recruiters. So as we know, last year, record-breaking job losses and unemployment as high as 16%. May of 2020. And according to the research, there is a reason to be optimistic, they say. They say 82% of employers plan on hiring in 2021, including 37% who plan to rehire backfill jobs. And 35% plan on hiring new jobs. So they have a tracking tool that's in place, and they used it throughout 2020 to kind of understand how employers are going to respond to this kind of once in a lifetime event we're going through with the pandemic. So with that being said, let me share you some insights that I thought were some big reveals. And it's a kind of a dual research project, if you will, through Monster. So we're kind of running two different studies into this report I'm reading. So the big reveal is that the future of hiring in the US is upbeat. Again, 82% plan to do hiring. 93% of the employers feel that they will find the right candidates. So that's welcoming news, right? For millions of workers looking for jobs or considering making a move. And then nearly half of the tech industry respondents said they're planning on creating new jobs. So half of tech is creating new jobs this year. So, and then they're also mentioning that the non-office setting type work, such as school, hospital, retail, all that kind of stuff, restaurant, airport, looking to increase their workforces 39%. So people are hiring, right? And so how they're responding to the pandemic, though, when we did ask about the policies, that have changed because of COVID-19, respondents ranked remote work flexibility 43%, adaptable offsite work schedules at 40%, updated health policies 36%, upskilling 34%, increased safety 29%, and reducing workplace footprints as the top policies at 20%. So that's the biggest changes we're going to be seeing. And then 46% of the hiring managers globally expect to make these pandemic response changes permanent. So that's eye-opening. That's going to impact recruitment quite a bit. They're saying 77% expect candidates will increasingly ask about things like workplace safety and health. And then they surveyed 400 workers and asked what they expect employers to pay more attention to in the upcoming year. And they came out ranking flexible work schedules as number one at 38%, salary protection at 35%, and then again, that health policy protocol implementation ranking third at 30%. So if you are interested, and finally, the last two were training staff to the new ways of working at 29%, shifting to a more remote work environment at 25%. Having said that, top recruiting challenges of 2021 is going to be the skills gaps in virtual recruiting, because the skills gap is widening, right? Despite this positive outlook, they're still facing a lot of sizable challenges for the recruiters. And the top hurdle is that hiring managers expect to face. The top hurdle that a hiring manager is expected to face in 2021 is that skills gap. It's impacting the way they find these qualified candidates. They say 40% of the respondents naming it as an anticipated challenge, the number one anticipated challenge. And a third of the employers say the skills gap has increased since last year. So they're saying, almost all of the employers, we're at 80% of the employers are having difficulty filling openings due to the skills gap from a year ago. The top skills employers are looking at right now in terms of soft skills is dependability, making sure you can arrive work on time, not take too much time off, following through on assignments, teamwork and collaboration, working well with others, that cross-functional ability, problem solving to make sure that you're resourceful when it comes to challenges and solutions, especially ones that are independently based. And then finally, flexibility, which we've all heard of. I mean, that's always going to be number one right now with this post-COVID, just because you have to be willing to take on new work and new ways of working, should you have to go remote for some periods of time or what have you. And virtual recruiting is on the rise, but with that being said, there's a lot of growing pains remaining with the shift to remote work and a decline in in-person activities. It's essential during the pandemic. 70% of the U.S. recruiters are used virtual technology for at least half of their candidate interviewing and new hire onboarding. 35% said that at least 3/4 of their recruiting practices were virtual. Right. And then respondents specifically working in talent acquisition and recruiting say their hiring process is 75% virtual. So everyone is online now looking for you if you're a candidate. The third biggest challenge, though, they're saying 28% expect to struggle with this new form of hiring. Right. So not surprisingly, it all depends on their level of usage with technology. How apt are they to building out a process that's going to be all automated and used virtually. So it is interesting. The recruitment process challenge to address is going to be how to best assess the qualified candidates based on the value of in-person interviews and difficulties associated with virtual hiring. It's not surprising that when asked which parts of the recruiting process will prove most challenging in the coming year, they said identifying and assessing the qualified candidates. And they said 3 of the biggest challenges for this year, 2021, 41% assessing the candidates during the interview, 40% right below that is identifying quality candidates quickly, and 36% is effectively screening candidates pre-interview. So that kind of prep before you send to the hiring manager. So they're saying, what tools are you using that's going to be most useful for finding qualified candidates? And they said 40% of it's still connections, referrals, and word of mouth. Resume search is 32%. Posting on company sites and career boards, 30%. So it's again, who referrals, word of mouth. This one is a little bit of a downer here, though, but the mental health concerns and issues, how work is impacting mental health. This is kind of eye-opening because, as you guys know, I've struggled with some mental health issues in my past and still kind of managing. But they're saying the top ranking issue is job-related anxiety. 31% of people are affected with anxiety of the workforce right now. 15% is depression. And then it kind of goes down into like some physical ailments from there and increased alcohol usage. But it is bad in terms of the impact these factors have on the worker productivity. I mean, hiring managers and recruiters, they're working with their team to ensure that the workers have those tools to prevent these issues and have the skills to help treat them if it does happen. So that's a great sign. And I don't think that's going anywhere. I think mental health has been destigmatized, right? Like we're okay to be not okay all the time. And I'm so happy for that because again, too many people have issues and they're not, or they're embarrassed or not willing to get help. And I just think it's better if you can talk and be open about it. And then once you can kind of overcome some of those barriers, then maybe you can be the one helping out the other people. So that was the big study. I'm going to tell you and the last was the diversity, equity, and inclusion, DEI initiatives. That was the final part here. They're saying 42% of employers are focused on employee training related to DE&I, and 34% are working towards building a diverse workforce. So majority of the U.S. employers at 50, well, about half, I'd say a little over half, 56% say they are updating their recruitment strategies to attract more diverse talent. And an astounding 30% of employers, revealed they don't have a DEI in place, which is eye-opening as well, because obviously you need to be focused on DEI. And if you're not having something like that or automation, things that kind of keep you moving forward, in place, you could get left out in the ringer. So very, very interesting facts. So moving forward in 2021, I'll give you the final note here. Top career fields for remote work. So the number one is computer IT. Number two, medical health. 3, project management. 4, sales. 5, accounting and finance. 6, customer service. 7 is marketing. The fastest growing job categories, which is some of the fastest growing career categories with remote postings, is marketing, administrative, and this is in order: marketing, administrative, HR recruiting, accounting, finance, graphic design, customer service, writing, mortgage real estate, internet, e-commerce, and project management. So a lot of these jobs can be done from home, and a lot of the popular remote job titles recently have included accountant, customer service representative, nurse, project manager, recruiter, teacher, web developer, and writer. So again, I hope you got some good information from this today. I thought it was just a fantastic study, and just some ideas as to where to look for work right now if you're interested in something like remote. And all in all, I just hope everyone takes care out there, continue to work with each other to help boost each other up. And again, this will be dropping every Wednesday at 2 p.m. We're going to stick with the Zoom for now. Hopefully next week I'll be on my new home, LinkedIn Live, which I was happy to be accepted into. And I'll work through those little obstacles to get that moving. But I'll be updating everybody accordingly through my LinkedIn page. So make sure you follow me over there, MJW Careers. And again, thank you very much for your time. Stay safe out there. I'll see you next Wednesday, 2 p.m.